Vox AC15, and yes, this one is an original one. This is about a 1960, and this one is absolutely split fire mint almost. Look at the grill cloth on it. The front it's in really good condition. This has got some patina on the grills there. Perhaps can't see. We're going to take the camera off the tripod and have a bit of a look. The straps with age has just kind of the leather's split on there, but the handle itself is still solid. Now this amp is not in for a restoration. This amp, the customer wants to keep this original, and he wants me to fire this amp up, and I'm going to reform the caps, and it's going to be quite a lengthy process to do it. And I know some people will be in the comments blah blah whatever, but it's what the customer wants. So basically the customer's got this as an investment, and if we recap this amp, that's one less customer, that, you know, one customer base that he won't be able to sell to. So someone will come along and want this amp, and they'll take it to a tech and get it fully recapped and restored. But another collector might come along and he doesn't want it touching, so he opens it up and sees it all original. He's the customer that will buy it. If this amp has been recapped, then he won't have, that customer won't be interested in this amp. So that's his reasoning on that. And I know I've watched some videos of the Guitologist on a similar topic, where he's pointed out the same thing. You know, you will lose a certain customer, you know, the collectors, if you do any work on this amp. Now, if this amp was being used by a gigging musician, then there'd be absolutely no question. I'd be saying you need to get that recapped. But this guy, he just wants to know that this amp works, so again, when someone comes along to buy it, he can say yes, it works, everything works, and obviously he's got the video. Now if we go in there and it's broken, there's something wrong with it, then obviously we are going to have to fix it. There's no choice there. So that's basically what we're going to do. So let's just have a bit of a look round it. So this is the faceplate then on the top that you can see. If we just go across there, just bring that down. I actually got a comment on the Fender Hot Rod Deluxe that we did, and the first couple of minutes of that video I actually filmed it with the camera handheld. The guy left a comment telling me I should get a tripod. So maybe he didn't watch the rest of the video, I don't know, but 99.9% of all my videos have been filmed on a tripod. I think what the guy really meant is I could do with a gimbal, and he'd be probably right if he said that. I could really do with a gimbal. When you've got a handheld camera with a gimbal, it's a much better filming experience. However, we're going to hone in to this Vox AC15, and you can see in there now. We just go in a bit closer. So now you can see inside this amp, and if we just tilt it to shade forward there, you can see I'm looking in here now. Everything in this amp is original. I don't see anything that has been changed in this amp at all. Nothing. So all original. So there we can see the speaker there, the JMI Jennings Musical Instruments, original foot switch with it as well. So yes, a very, very nice example indeed. So let's just take, so there's no plug on this amp, we've just got the wires, so we're going to have to put a plug on it. So I'm going to use a current limiter and a variac to try and reform these caps, and probably going to take a couple of hours. Just pulled the chassis out on the wooden tray there, and you can see inside that original tubes, mullards, we've got original cap, original transformers, mullard, original mullard tube there. Let's just check them all. Wow, that's not been off before. ECC82 mullard. I'm not going to take them right off because it'd be a lot of fiddling about to get them past there, and I don't want to disturb the stuff too much. We'll see. That's an EF86. Is that the mullard? EF86. Yes, it is. Yep. So yep, all original tubes. Yeah, so all original mullards and original rectifier tube. That's the one we need to check as well. Let's have a look. My word, look how clean those tube sockets are. EZ81 mullard. Got a date code on there of 8T1. We'll look that up. 8T1. What's the one at the bottom? BOK. That'll be Blackburn, I would have thought. So we'll write that down, and then I'm going to, because I can't remember those in my head. Some of you probably can. As you see, I'm not one for codes and stuff normally, but in this case we'll. So 8T1, and is that a Q? Or a 0? That's, sorry, B0, is that a B0K? Sure, that's BOK. I'll put B0K. I don't know. I have looked those up before, you know, and I just can't remember. Just don't look at those tube sockets there. See if we can get in and have a look. Go in, just move that. Look how clean they are. My days. Be very careful not to take the paint off the tubes. Well, check this out. My word, this thing looks brand new. Caps are all in exceptional condition. Never seen a vintage amp as clean as this. It's unbelievable. Tube sockets look brand new. It's all the wiring still in place, you can just see. So yeah, it just looks like it's come out of the factory. The only thing is that sellotape's on there's gone, obviously yellowed over time. All the wire is so clean. Right, we're going to start and reform these caps. We've got a 15-watt bulb in the current limiter to start off, and we've got the variac and we're on 52 volts, and we're going to switch on. So we've got about 24 volts going in there, 25 volts now, and I've just gauged that. So it's took quite a bit of time for that rectifier tube to get warm and start conducting. So we're just going to leave that now. And you can see it is creeping up, but that's fine. So we'll leave that for 15 minutes and then we'll bring it up a bit more. Right, you can see we've crept up to 42 volts now. So we're just going to go up a little more now. We're just going to put a 60-watt bulb in now. Hasn't gone up much, but just a little bit. And that should take it up a little bit more. You can see it's beginning to crawl now. Just another 5 watts on the current limit in there, just beginning to go up steady. So we're just going to keep bringing this up steady now. And every 15 minutes or so we'll just increase the voltage. It's got 67 volts going into the amp now. We're up to 50 volts and climbing. And you can see now we're up to 60 volts. So we'll put another 15 watts in. It should rise a bit more now. And you can see it going up again now. Got 73 volts going into the amp now. .75 watts of bulbs. Right, we're up to 82 volts now. It's crept up another 12 volts. So we'll go up a little more. Right, so put a 100-watt bulb in there now. You can see that's going up. We've got 80 volts going in. And we're up to 90 volts now. And climbing. Just put a little bit more in on the variac. Let's just take it up to 85 volts. That'll probably get us up to about 100, I would have thought. Oh, pretty close to that. There we go, 85 volts in. And we'll just leave it to sit there for another 15-20 minutes. Right, if we look at this meter here, that's across the cathode resistor on the output tubes. See, we've got 333 milliamps there, so things beginning to warm up slowly. And we're up to 107 volts on there now, so things starting to look good. No issues, no shorts. Bulbs have never really got bright at all. So yeah, all looking good. Right, so we've got 111 volts going into it now, into the amp. Well, that's what we've got. DC, we've got 86 volts going in off the wall. So if you can see up there, I've got the signal generator fired up and I've got that plugged into it. We've got 340 milliamps ish, just over on the across the cathode resistor. So now we're going to go up to 100 volts on the wall and see what that pushes us up. Not much more. That should give us about 125 volts, I would think. And yep. And I can hear the signal generator coming through the speaker. And no doubt you can too now. And we've got 1 volt and climbing across the cathode resistor. I think the tone pot needs a bit of a clean. But you'd expect that, wouldn't you? After 65 years. Right, we'll leave it for, just leave it for another few minutes, 15 minutes or so, and then we'll ease it up a bit more. Right, so we've got it all running okay now, so we know it runs. We're just going to go up a bit more now. So now I'm going to put 120 volts in it. You can hear them coming up now really loud, so we're just going to turn that down. Right, I've got 120 volts going into it now. And we've got 150 volts of plate, well, B plus. We've got 3.3 volts going in on the over the cathode resistor. So right, stuck another 15 watt bulb in there. We're up to 161 volts. The variac's up to 219, but the volts going in is only up to 146. So we're going to bring that voltage up till it matches now with the bulbs. So we've got 115 watts of current limiting, so I'm going to take that up to 140 now, and you'll see the voltage coming up a bit more. You can hear the amp now. I've taken off the signal generator, but no capacitance hum as I can hear, although I've only got it on that small speaker, small test speaker. But it's all looking good. We're drawing 290 milliamps, but that includes the variac as well, which draws quite a lot. So that's probably only shade over 200 milliamps the amp's drawing. Got 13.5 across the cathode resistor. Right, so now we've put another 20 watts of bulb in there. We've got 185 volts, and doesn't look like the tremolo works. But it could be this switch that's got a bit of patina on it, corrosion. So we'll look at that in a minute. But right, we'll go for the 200 watts of bulbs now. There we go. And now the voltage is coming up. There we go, we're up to 200 volts. Got 16.3 volts now on the across the cathode resistor. Not sure what that cathode resistor says on it. Unfortunately, the writing's flaked off it, so we'll have to test that. Yes, that's looking pretty good. Got 175 volts going into it now, and 196 going into the of DC. Very quiet. everything appears to be working okay apart from the tremolo. I mean, even the pots. Even the pots aren't really, you know, I've just turned those a few times and they're absolutely fine. My days, this thing is just like brand new. Right, let's just see what the maximum HT voltage is. So I'm just going to ease off the current limiter. You can see that's gone up quite a bit, but that's fine now, those caps are reformed. Just pull that lead, oh, it's that lead that's making it hum. Just a little bit on that pot. That's because I switched the signal generator off but left the lead plugged in. Listen to that. It's quite silent. And I'm not going to spray these pots unless I have to. If I can work this out, because I don't want to spray anything into it even. I don't want to do anything to this amp unless I'm absolutely forced. And that's it, they're fine. That's unbelievable. But that's because this amp's been covered up, and I'll show you the cover is the material has gone hard on it. You have to be very careful with the cover when you're putting it on it, taking it off. I've never seen any vintage amp as clean as this one, but I've certainly never seen one of these that clean. You'd have to question whether this is one of the best examples in the UK. It's certainly right up there, isn't it? So I'm just going to put the current limiter back on, and I'm just going to test a few of these resistors. Right, where are we? So we come down. Looking at the grids, the other wires coming down here. Here's the grid resist, the grid coupling, the coupling caps for the output tubes. So sadly, the grid, I've got the current limiter back on now, so the coupling caps to the grids on the output tubes are leaking. So that probably explains why that cathode voltage is a little high on that cathode resistor, which I did suspect that's a bit high. So we certainly don't want to be running this amp. I mean, it's fine on the current limiter because that's keeping it down. So let's just unplug. And we'll test that cathode resistor. So 132 ohms the cathode resistor showing, so that must be a 130 ohm resistor. I can't quite see what it says on there because it's the print isn't quite clear enough on it. Right, so on the current limiter I've got 10.69 watts, so not a huge deal. We're just going to get a reading off of here and a reading off the plate to cathode voltage quickly. So we're just going to flick off. So that's now gone up to 22 and climbing, 23 volts. Let's just and we've got 212 plate to cathode. So I'm just going to put the current limiter back on. So 200. So let's do the maths on that. That's 178 milliamps. That's a lot. 89 milliamps a tube. times 212. So yeah, they're blasting it off the current limiter. They're at a whopping 18.87 watts. So we need to keep the current limiter on there. Even allowing 5% for the screens, they're running at 18 watts. So that's because of those caps leaking. Alright, so unfortunately though, with those leaking, we're going to have to keep this amp on the current limiter if we're going to have a little play through it, which will be fine. 10.8 watts, that's not doing that's not causing any problems. But yeah, 14.2 on one of the tubes leaking onto the grid, and 16.5 on the other. So sadly those caps are leaking, and probably, I dare say, a fair few of the others are as well. Yeah, we've got leakage on that one, 1.6, 15 volts on there, and that's probably why the tremolo isn't working. So those caps you can see in there, these caps, all of these, look, these, and they're Weimars, so you know, you wouldn't not often you see those leaking, but sadly they're all leaking in there, which is a bit of a shame. But are we going to change them? Not unless the customer wants them changing. So yeah, we've got some leaky coupling caps, but this is a collector's amp. It's not, you know, it's not a gigging amp. So just looking down at this switch here, and you can see that it's got a lot of corrosion on there. We might be able to clean that off and get that running and get that tremolo running. That could be the problem. So we'll have a look at that. And this one's the same as well here, so we'll clean that one up as well. Right, I've cleaned those up, but the tremolo still doesn't work. So there we go. I thought I'd just do a few silent clips just so you can have a look in there. So before we do the demo, I thought we'd have a look at the cover, and you can see that on here. We have to be very careful with this because it's gone quite hard over the years. Right, we've got the AC15. We're going to give it a quick demo. We've got the current limiter on it there, and you can see we've got a bit of frying going on there. So, but we'll have a listen anyway. Tremolo doesn't work. I've tried everything with it, but it's obviously the capacitors that have gone. When you actually switch the tremolo on through that, you get like a pop, which is usually an indication it's the capacitors that have gone. And we know the coupling caps aren't great in this amp, but as I said, the key to it is keeping it original. So we're just going to have a quick listen. So there we go. Doesn't sound its best, but it sounds okay. But as I say, we'll switch off now. Doesn't sound its best, sounds okay, but looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? And inside it just looks brand new. Such a shame those coupling caps are leaking. My word, if they weren't, that really would be amazing find. But even, you know, even as it is now, you know, is this one of the cleanest Vox AC15s in the world? You know, certainly in the UK there must be some somewhere, I don't know. But yeah, a privilege to have worked on that amp. It's beautiful, and the smell, you know, the waft of it is just amazing. It really is a class bit of kit. So yeah, I've spoken to the customer. He wants to keep it original. He knows it runs, so he's got it as an investment. You know, should a collector come to buy it, then yeah, he knows it's running. He's got the video of it running on the channel, and then, you know, it's up to the collector really. So if you was going to buy, you know, an amp of this caliber, would you want it all original, no matter what he was going to do with it? You know, this is and again, something that you know, the guitarologist said on his channel, that it's far better to get an amp in all original condition and, you know, fix it properly than it is to get one that, you know, every man and his pit bull's been inside it. And you know, this is a prime example. A collector may buy it and just leave it as it is. It's a museum piece, shelf queen, whatever you want to call them. Someone may come along and buy it, want it all original, because he wants to restore it, put whatever caps in he wants to put in it, and so forth. The Sozos, whatever. Everybody has their own choice of caps, don't they? Don't berate me in the comments saying I should have recapped it or done this to it or whatever. It's the customer's amp, it's the customer's choice. So watch the video and just, you know, it's a beautiful thing. Watch it, enjoy it. I've not reformed these caps so it can go out and be used on a gig or be used every day, you know, playing or whatever. I've reformed them just to so this amp is running and it's seen to be running should the customer come to sell it. But anyway, enough of me waffling. So that'll do it for this one. So thanks for watching. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now.